Well, I think they've so far counted just about 25% of the votes, and it's as tight as a margin of 1 or 2% or no percentage at all. So it's really a back and forth 1 or 2%. So it's really a tight race
Yeah.
so far. But the votes counted at about 25%, which is still pretty low. So we still expect probably to see a breakout of the two candidates or to stick onto each other, just the way the polls were showing before, that they were very close.
So if it's so close, Winnie, do you think there'll be a runoff, or will this be it?
Yeah, I think there is a runoff is quite likely. Yeah, it's quite likely with the tight. Yeah, if by this evening we should know whether we are likely to go for a runoff if it sticks that tight, because all of it is either 50 or 49, 48, not really like 51 or so.
Interesting. Yeah. So tell us about these two candidates. They are very different.
They have to be different. They are different. They are different, and if you were to look at, their manifestos, they are quite distinct and different. One, the UDA, the Kwanzaa Alliance, which is led by Honorable Ruto, it has quite more of a socio-communist manifesto kind of manifesto, and then there is the other one, which is more of a trying to still be on the same platform that Kenya has run on, trying to look at different sectors. But if you look at what they're emphasizing, everybody is looking into issues of economy and employment generally. So there is a convergence as far as the two seeing economy and employment as the issue, but how they plan to handle the two maybe varies at one point or so. Corruption is also an issue in those manifesto, although one UDA doesn't emphasize it much, but the Raila Odinga wing, which is called the Azimio is emphasizing on corruption and outlining how they intend to handle corruption. So basically the two are focusing on largely the same issues, but different styles of looking at it and how they intend to handle the issues.
Yeah. Raila Odinga, this is his fifth attempt to become president. Why might this be a different opportunity, do you think? He does have the backing of the outgoing president.
Well, that's one thing, that he has a backing of the outgoing president, which might not be so similar to the other past four shots that he did, but the stabs he did at being a president. This is one, election where the current regime is supporting him, but I don't think that would give a high leverage so far what we are seeing, because we've seen the strongholds where the incumbent comes from. And so far, it's very clear that the votes from that region are really dominated by the opponent, the Raila opponent. So that then clearly shows that as much as people would think that gave Raila Odinga an advantage, it doesn't seem to have really given advantage as such in terms of the vote. We are still watching, but it's very clear that the Ruto has dominance in the Rift Valley and in the Central Province, which is actually the incumbent's region.
Yep.
But I think one thing which is unique and we see as very good in this election is not so much region-based. We can use the equation of region, but it's not that region-based. It's a little bit of quite a mixed if we compare with our previous elections, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Advancing probably to issues.
Yeah, which is encouraging to see. There've often been claims of fraud, and they've both said they'll accept the outcome as long as there is no fraud. How free and fair do you think this election has been?
So far, it looks free and fair, but the issue right now are the issues that we faced yesterday during the election, in that there are regions that just didn't do elections of particular offices, like the governorship. 2 counties did not vote for the governorship, and about 3 did not vote for their members of parliament because there was a hitch here or there. Then there were a number of people who could not vote because the kits, the electronic kits were not working well, or so. So that is another hitch. So the little hitches that people have had are making, the public raise issues with, how fair is this going to be? Not fair in terms of one person is stealing from the other the usual way, but rather fair in terms of the process. Because like now, the governorship vote will come later, although those in those regions have voted. And then there were delayed voting. Some people were voting as late as 11 in the night because they pushed the hours. If you began late, then they pushed your hours. And there was one constituency or area that did not vote at all. They are voting today. So we had some hitches in the process. But over and above, I think apart from the processes, it was going on quite fairly. But these hitches could raise issues, especially if the competition is so tight.
Yeah.
And then, candidates can always exploit on issues of gaps that were in the process.
Well, we'll watch with interest as it plays out. We do appreciate you joining us, Winnie. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. It was good to join you. Thank you.